Beloved, life is not a battle to be fought, but a game to be played, and the rules of this game are written in words. Words are not idle sounds, they are living seeds, carrying the power of creation. When spoken with faith, they awaken the invisible forces of the universe and summon into form the riches, health, and joy that belong to you by divine right. Poverty, lack, and struggle are not the truth of your being. They are shadows created by fearful words and limiting thoughts. The truth is abundance, and it is already yours, waiting for your command. Words are living seeds, and each time you speak, you plant a garden in the invisible soil of the universe. Many go through life unaware of this power, scattering careless words that grow into thorns of difficulty and weeds of limitation. They complain of lack, and lack increases. They speak of struggle, and struggle multiplies. But when one awakens to the truth, they realize that words are not idle sounds, but forces that shape destiny. Every declaration you make sends out vibrations, and these vibrations attract conditions that match them. When you say, I am poor, you summon poverty. When you say, I am unlucky, you draw misfortune. But when you boldly affirm, I am rich, I am prosperous, I am blessed, the universe bends itself to fulfill your command. A seed does not grow overnight, yet it carries within it the blueprint of the harvest. In the same way, a word once spoken with faith carries the pattern of the experience it promises. If you plant seeds of wealth by speaking words of abundance and nurture them with gratitude, you will reap a harvest of prosperity in due time. Spirit never fails, but it requires your cooperation. You must be mindful of every word, for careless speech is like scattering poison in your own field. The universe takes you at your word. It does not reason, it only responds. That is why you must speak deliberately, consciously planting words that reflect the life you desire rather than the life you fear. Many say they believe in prosperity, yet continually speak words of lack. They declare, I cannot afford this, or money never stays with me. Each time they utter these words, they reinforce the very condition they wish to escape. The wise one knows to guard their tongue, to speak only words aligned with truth. They may see an empty purse, but they declare, my supply is endless. They may face bills, but they say, money comes to me in perfect ways. By doing this, they water the seeds of abundance rather than feeding the weeds of fear. Words have creative power because they are charged with belief. When spoken with conviction, they release energy that molds the unseen into form. That is why affirmations, when repeated with faith, transform circumstances. They are not magic tricks, but spiritual laws in action. Just as you would not expect a seed to produce fruit if never planted, you cannot expect prosperity without speaking it into existence. Your word is your wand, and it directs the invisible forces of life. The secret is to remain steadfast. Speak abundance not once, but daily. Let your words be consistent with the wealth you desire. Do not contradict yourself by affirming prosperity in one moment and speaking doubt in the next. Stand firm, knowing that the seed must grow, the word must manifest, for spirit is unfailing and the universe is obedient. Guard your speech, plant words of riches, water them with gratitude, and in time your life will bloom with the wealth that has always been yours by divine right. To speak wealth and not lack is to align your words with the truth of abundance rather than the illusion of limitation. Every utterance you make is a decree, and the universe takes it as law. Too often, people sabotage their own prosperity by allowing words of fear and want to pass their lips. They say, I can't afford this. I never have enough. Or money is so hard to come by. These declarations are like chains, binding them to struggle. The universe, which only mirrors back the vibration you send, continues to deliver more circumstances of lack, because that is the command it has been given. What you affirm consistently becomes your reality. If you speak of lack, lack multiplies. If you speak of wealth, wealth rushes in to meet you. The difference between poverty and prosperity begins not in the bank account, but in the tongue. You may see little before you, but your word has the power to call forth plenty. The appearance of limitation is only a shadow, a temporary illusion. Spirit is infinite supply, and when you speak wealth, you open the channels through which it flows, to say, I am rich. Even when your pockets are empty, is not denial, but a higher affirmation of truth. It is declaring that you refuse to accept appearances as final, and you claim your divine inheritance of abundance. The universe responds to such faith by rearranging circumstances and bringing to you the opportunities, ideas, and people who carry the answer to your spoken word. Speaking wealth is not about mere repetition of words, but about speaking them with conviction, as if they were already fulfilled. When you affirm, money flows to me easily and endlessly, you must feel the joy of it, see yourself already supplied, and give thanks as though it were done. That vibration of certainty carries the command to spirit more powerfully than empty words said in doubt. You cannot fool the universe with half-hearted declarations, for it responds not only to your words, but to the belief behind them. Yet, as you persist in speaking wealth, belief begins to grow. The more you affirm prosperity, the more you convince your subconscious mind that it is true, and soon the outer world aligns with the inner decree. To speak lack is to close the door to opportunity, but to speak wealth is to fling it wide open. You may meet challenges, but you must never give them the final word. Instead of saying, this is impossible, declare, all things are possible through spirit. Instead of confessing, I am burdened with debt, affirm, I am free, I am supplied, and every bill is paid in divine order. Each word of wealth you speak sends out a ripple of energy that returns to you multiplied. The law is sure and unfailing. What you decree with your tongue will eventually shape the conditions of your life. Therefore, let no word of lack escape your lips. Let your mouth be a fountain of abundance. Continually affirm, I am prosperous, I am wealthy, I am richly supplied. Hold fast to these words, and even in the face of appearances, do not waver. In time, the outer world will reflect your declarations, and the universe will deliver to you riches beyond what you once thought possible. To use affirmations of abundance is to speak words that carry the vibration of prosperity, declaring what you desire as if it were already yours. An affirmation is more than a simple phrase. It is a decree, a command, a seed planted in the fertile soil of the subconscious mind and the infinite universe. When spoken with faith and consistency, affirmations become living forces that shape the conditions of your life. They are not mere wishes or empty hopes, but divine statements of truth, aligning your thoughts and words with the eternal law of supply. The universe does not respond to longing or begging, but to bold declarations spoken with certainty. When you affirm, I am rich, I am prosperous, I am overflowing with abundance, you are not lying to yourself, nor are you pretending. You are speaking the truth of your divine nature, for wealth is not something external you must chase. It is the natural flow of spirit within and around you. The problem is that many have allowed negative affirmations to dominate their speech. Every time they say, I am broke, money never comes to me, or I can't afford this, they are making affirmations of lack. These declarations, though often spoken unconsciously, carry power. They reinforce the very conditions one wishes to escape. To change your life, you must change your words and affirm only what you wish to experience. Affirmations of abundance work because they bypass appearances and connect with the unseen substance of spirit. Even when the outer world shows lack, the inner truth is infinite supply. By affirming abundance, you call that invisible supply into visible form. It is as though you are ordering from the storehouse of the universe, and spirit delivers exactly as you have spoken. The secret is consistency. One cannot affirm prosperity in the morning and then speak of lack in the evening. Such contradiction scatters the energy and delays the harvest. You must hold to the affirmation with steadfastness, even when appearances tempt you to give up. Affirmations are most powerful when they are spoken aloud with conviction, for the spoken word carries vibration that penetrates deeply into the subconscious mind. To say quietly, "I am abundant," may bring comfort, but to declare boldly, "I am rich now, money flows to me in perfect ways," sets into motion forces that cannot be denied. Each time you speak such words, you water the seed of prosperity, and with time, the harvest will appear. Gratitude strengthens the affirmation. When you give thanks for your wealth as if it already exists, you magnetize it more quickly into your experience. The universe obeys the command of your word. If you affirm consistently, without doubt, you will find doors opening, opportunities arriving, and money flowing from expected and unexpected sources. Affirmations transform the invisible into the visible, the unseen into the seen. Therefore, fill your mouth with words of wealth, repeat them daily, and let them become your truth. Soon your life will shine with the very abundance you have declared, for Spirit never fails to honor the words spoken with faith. To hold faith and not doubt is to keep the mind steady on the truth, regardless of appearances. Faith is the substance of things hoped for, the evidence of things not seen. It is the invisible power that calls the unseen into being. Doubt, on the other hand, is the thief that steals the harvest before it can bloom. The moment you allow doubt to enter, you weaken the decree you have spoken and block the flow of good rushing toward you. The universe responds not to wavering minds, but to unwavering faith. To declare wealth and then to doubt, it is to plant a seed and dig it up the next day, wondering why it has not grown. Nothing can manifest in such soil. Faith is the steady hand that plants the seed, waters it with gratitude, and trusts that in due season the harvest must appear. Faith does not look at appearances, for appearances are but shadows. The outer world may show lack, yet faith holds firmly to abundance. The purse may be empty, the bills may pile high, yet faith declares, "My supply is endless. All that I need is already mine." Doubt whispers, "It cannot be," but faith replies, with spirit, "All things are possible." Faith is fearless. It knows that the universe is unfailing, and that divine law is always working for good. Doubt trembles at obstacles, but faith sees them as stepping stones to greater blessings. To hold faith is to stand guard over your mind and refuse entry to thoughts of fear and lack. The battle is often silent, waged in the secret chambers of thought. You may affirm prosperity aloud, but if you entertain inner doubts, your affirmation loses power. That is why faith must be nurtured daily. You must train your mind to believe in abundance even before it appears, to act as if the wealth you desire is already present. Gratitude strengthens faith, for when you give thanks in advance, you proclaim your trust in the unseen. Faith is like a bridge that connects you to your desire. Without it, the wealth you affirm cannot reach you, for doubt breaks the bridge and cuts off the flow. Those who waver between faith and fear find themselves stuck, receiving little because their vibration is divided. The universe requires clarity. It does not respond to confusion but to certainty. One declaration of faith spoken with unwavering belief is stronger than 1,000 empty words filled with doubt. To hold faith is also to let go of the how. Doubt constantly asks, "How will this happen?" Faith rests in the knowing that Spirit has infinite ways. When you hold to faith, doors open in unexpected places, help arrives from unseen hands, and what seemed impossible becomes reality. Faith is the magnet that draws supply, the torch that lights the path, the key that unlocks the treasure chest of the universe. Therefore, refuse to dwell in doubt. Declare your good, believe it is done, and hold steady no matter what the outer world shows. Stand firm in the conviction that Spirit never fails. In time, the manifestation must appear, for faith is the assurance, the divine certainty, that the wealth you seek is already on its way, and nothing can keep it from you. Appearances of lack are illusions, shadows on the screen of life, temporary pictures that have no real substance. Spirit is the only reality, and spirit is infinite, eternal, and overflowing with supply. When you look at an empty wallet, when you see unpaid bills, when circumstances show shortage, these are but fleeting images, not the truth of your being. The truth is that you live in an abundant universe where endless riches are always present, waiting for your recognition. Lack is not real in spirit. It is a false picture created by fear, doubt, and negative words. Once you understand this, you refuse to give power to appearances and begin to call forth the abundance that is already yours by divine right. The world teaches people to bow before appearances, to accept them as reality. If the purse is empty, they say, I am poor. If the job is lost, they say, I have no security. But the wise one knows that appearances are deceptive. What you see is only the result of past thoughts and words. The present moment is always filled with infinite possibility, and new conditions can be called forth by new words spoken in faith. To believe in lack is to strengthen the illusion. To affirm abundance in the face of lack is to break the spell and call forth the truth. When you remember that spirit is the source of all supply, you stop depending on appearances. A job, a bank account, or a person is not your true source. They are merely channels. The real source is infinite and cannot fail. If one channel closes, another opens, often greater than the first. Appearances may tell you the door is shut, but spirit opens windows in unexpected places. To cling to appearances is to limit yourself. To trust spirit is to walk in freedom, knowing that supply flows in perfect ways and perfect timing. The illusion of lack dissolves the moment you stop feeding it with fear and words of want. Fear magnifies the shadow, but faith dispels it like sunlight. When you say, I am rich, I am prosperous, I am supplied, even while appearances show the opposite, you are affirming the truth that lies beyond the illusion. Hold fast to this truth, and soon the outer world must align. The shadow of lack fades away, and the reality of abundance takes its place. Appearances test your faith, but they cannot withstand it. Just as a mirage vanishes when approached, so too does lack disappear when met with the bold declaration of prosperity. Refuse to bow before conditions, for conditions are only the echo of yesterday's words and beliefs. Stand firm, declare abundance, and remember that spirit never fails. Therefore, see beyond appearances. Know that lack is a lie, and abundance is the truth. Speak only of supply, give thanks for it now, and act as though it were already visible. In time, the illusion fades, and the overflowing riches of the universe reveal themselves in your life, proving once again that spirit alone is reality, and spirit is always abundance. To give thanks before receiving is to demonstrate true faith in the abundance of spirit. Gratitude is the language of trust, the bold declaration that what you have spoken is already accomplished. Most people wait until the blessing appears before they give thanks, but that is gratitude born of sight, not of faith. The wise soul gives thanks while the purse is still empty, while the bills remain on the table, while the dream is not yet visible. This thanksgiving is a spiritual act, a powerful signal to the universe that you already believe the promise is fulfilled. When you give thanks in advance, you water the seed of your word and hasten the harvest. Thanksgiving aligns your heart with abundance and dissolves the vibration of doubt. Doubt asks, when will it come? Gratitude declares, it is already mine. To thank spirit for wealth before it appears is to step into the reality where it already exists, for in truth, all things are finished in the divine. You are not waiting for your good is waiting for you to recognize it. Gratitude is that recognition. It opens the door to supply and allows it to pour forth freely. Without thanksgiving, even affirmations may remain dry words, but with thanksgiving they become alive, charged with joy and expectancy. When you give thanks before receiving, you also shift your focus away from lack. Instead of magnifying the problem, you magnify the solution. Instead of saying, I don't have enough, you say, thank you, Spirit, for supplying all my needs in perfect ways. This act lifts your mind from the shadows of limitation into the light of abundance. Gratitude changes your vibration instantly. It fills you with peace, removes fear, and attracts to you the very good you are thanking for. The law of attraction responds most quickly to a thankful heart, for thanksgiving is faith in action. Even the simplest prayer of gratitude carries great power. To wake in the morning and say, "Thank you for the wealth that flows to me today," is to set in motion a current of prosperity. To face a bill and say, "Thank you that this is paid in full by divine supply," is to call forth the very means to pay it. Gratitude transforms every circumstance, no matter how difficult, into an open channel for good. Where others see lack, the thankful soul sees hidden treasure. Where others despair, the thankful one rejoices, and that joy magnetizes blessings that cannot be denied. The universe rushes to meet the one who is grateful before the gift arrives. Gratitude is the golden key that unlocks every door. It proves to spirit that you trust completely, that you no longer cling to appearances, but stand firmly in the truth of abundance. When you practice giving thanks before receiving, you will see miracles unfold. Money will come in unexpected ways, opportunities will appear, and your life will overflow with wealth. Give thanks now, not tomorrow. Say with joy, "Thank you, Spirit, for my prosperity, my success, my overflowing abundance." In time, your outer world will match your inner thanksgiving, and you will see that your gratitude has created a life of endless riches.